So at the time, my parents weren't able to set aside any money toward college, so we were trying to figure out scholarships, what I'd be able to do for loans, work, etc., just to be able to make it work. And so, I remember applying for the scholarship. I remember getting ready. I'd made it for one of the final interviews, and just was so excited and trying to figure out, what can I do to set myself apart for the scholarship? And I remember after the interview too, just so much emotion and saying, it actually played into a spiritual journey for me as well, but just thinking, wow, this would be huge for me. And then I remember, getting the phone call and having got the scholarship and just being so full of gratitude for what that made for impact for me, for kind of freeing me a little bit to know I can make it to college.
I went to the University of Nebraska, Lincoln to get a degree in plant biology, which set me up for my master's in agronomy, plant breeding, and genetics. And I continued teaching genetics online at the University of Nebraska, and I was able to transition that passion into working for the Center for Transformative Teaching there as well, which is where I am currently. I was so grateful. I feel emotional too. I was so grateful to not live under crushing debt, and that I was able to, because of all the financial assistance with scholarships, and especially with the Rotary helping as well, to finish my education and not feel crushed by debt.
I would say the scholarship has helped me focus on others rather than myself, because COVID has caused such a major issue for students with mental health, especially high-achieving students who, all of a sudden pretty much had everything taken away from them at once, is what it seems like. And with the scholarship, it's helped me, be able to not worry about anything financial and to just focus on the people around me and to try and build off of the world that we live in now, because, it's the new normal that we have to deal with, and we have to learn to still, push towards success and trying to help our community regardless of what our community is going through. In 15 years from now, I see myself as a policymaker. At the end of the day, I want to go into doing something that will actually cause change for the community, and I believe that the biggest way that we can cause change is through policy. As much as we can try and speak about something, we can never truly accomplish it without having the legislation behind it and having the support of, people and constituents in general, and having, more of like the community agree on something rather than implementing what we think is right for a certain community without even consulting them. So I would like to focus on policy making, and I hope to see myself, on the national level, maybe in Congress or Senate or something, but on the national scope, doing some good.
And so about 23 years ago or so, I was very fortunate to be matched with Carly Iwanski, now Carly Grutel, who was a 5th grader at Hawthorne Elementary.
They often say, because I might reaching your full potential, and that there were a few things that I needed assistance with and that I needed a little bit more guidance on, and so that was what I was selected for. They saw the potential in me, and they also had saw that there might be there were things that I needed a little bit more guidance on.
And so
there were times that were challenging, definitely in college, and I remember Barb being there for me quite a bit. To the point of, I'm gonna drop out, I can't do this. And she's, come on, we got this. And she, again, connected me with resources on campus, helped me advocate for myself, which is huge for mentorship. I think it's important to advocate for your mentee, but also to teach them how to advocate for themselves. So teaching how to advocate for yourself is huge, and I think Barb really helped me with that.
That's fabulous.
Well, you know, I think when someone has not been a mentor before, you think about it as how you're going to help this person. And I could sit here and tell you lots of stories about what she's done for my life. And it flows back and forth as to who's the mentor and who's the mentee. It's been a really wonderful experience, and now, you know, to be a part of her life as she gets married and has children,
Yes.
and then the real privilege was to get to work together at the Lincoln Community Foundation the past several years, and so it's a very special relationship.
We have really enjoyed a significant long-term partnership with Rotary 14. Rotary 14 has made, I think, a significant impact on this community through its gift through parks, through its gifts to students in the community, to other gifts, as well as gifts internationally. It is amazing and always fun to work with Rotary 14. Yeah, people may have seen a historic fountain in Antelope Park. It's just north of Ball Pavilion, near the large playground in Antelope Park, and that was a gift from Rotary 14 in 1927. It's a beautiful granite drinking fountain that it's aged a little bit and it's got some patina on it, but it's still serving the community. It's a wonderful gift. When people visit the Antelope Park Triangle at 27th and Capitol Parkway, they'll see an area that today we call it the Strolling Garden, but in 1992 that was a gift from Rotary 14 as a strolling garden for seniors. You know, one of Lincoln's gems, or one of Lincoln's icons, is the Sunken Gardens that was built in 1931 as kind of a local WPA work progress administration type project. In early 2000s, the garden was at the point that really needed a major renovation. And Rotary 14 provided a very generous gift. We knew that we wanted kind of a signature element, architectural element, that would be part of that garden. And there was a vision for doing the gazebo that is at the north entrance to the garden. And Jeff Chadwick was the architect with Clark and Anderson, who worked on that project and took a very personal interest in the design that is in the dome of the pavilion. And that is the Rotary Pavilion in Sunken Gardens, and we were very appreciative for that leadership gift that Rotary 14 provided to that renovation project that I think is a signature image for Lincoln. There's an awful lot of images of Sunken Gardens with that beautiful gazebo in the background. Yes. As kind of the last piece on Antelope Park Triangle and Sunken Gardens that really hadn't been renovated in the last 20 years, we came back to that and said, okay, now we need to upgrade the Cascade Fountain project. And again, Rotary 14, the Rotary 14 Foundation stepped forward with a leadership gift and created the Rotary Plaza there. That will be a wonderful place that we can envision weddings being there, and it'll be a place where people can be seated, have lunch if they've been on a stroll in Sunken Gardens, or maybe they've been riding their bikes on the trail. But again, another very lasting signature gift to Lincoln from Rotary 14, and we say thank you very much.
So my parents were born and raised in Iraq, and they immigrated here to Lincoln, Nebraska about 20 years ago. And they were escaping kind of like the war that was going on, just the poor living conditions at the time. And so I am the firstborn in my family, and my parents got married in Syria. And they escaped Iraq, got married in Syria, and then they came here where they had me, and then they had my other two brothers. And so I was born and raised in Lincoln, Nebraska. I went to elementary school here, middle school, and I came to Lincoln High, which is the best decision I've ever made. Lincoln High as a school is just so amazing. It's so filled with diversity. We have discussions about everything, and that's really nice because in the real world that doesn't often happen. And so my experiences at Lincoln High, they really shaped who I am as a person. I have an idea for how I want my future to look like. I have an idea for how I want my next 4 years of undergrad to look like. But of course, like everyone else, we know that you think you want something and then in your undergrad anyway, and then you end up changing your major like 100 times. For right now, I really want to major in psychology and sociology and have minors in Spanish and maybe business, if that works out for me, because I do want to own my own law practice, my own law firm after my undergrad, after I get my Juris Doctor. And I don't think many people realize how they're the first person to say no to themselves. And my scholarship journey was stressful. It was not with this scholarship, but just college and this whole year in general, because I doubted myself. I told myself I would never get this. I'm competing against so many people who are probably phenomenal and have this much expertise in this much experience in that. And if I were to look at a younger version of myself, let's say, I would tell her to own it, apply and own it, and have your goals in mind. Know what you want to do and be passionate enough about it to write papers upon papers upon papers of essays, detailing, explaining to someone what change it is that you're going to make in the world. The Rotary Scholarship is phenomenal. It is amazing because, and I'm so proud to be a recipient of the scholarship this year, because getting to say that the Rotary Club of Lincoln, Nebraska, the 14th, one of the oldest in the U.S., who does all this amazing work in the community, has chosen to give me a scholarship is, I don't even have the words for it. It makes me so happy.